Welcome to Flow Brewing. It is middle of September here, September 8th, and we are making a Belgian Pale Ale today. The reason why we're doing that is we are out of temperature control, so we are going to let this ferment on the floor at about room temperature, so about 77 degrees, and just kind of want to experiment with a more open, natural style fermentation since we've been controlling that for a while. Today we've got a starter right there, just under 1,500 mils. We started off with 2,000, boiled it for 20 minutes, added 170 grams of DME, and it came to 1.056. That was too high, so what we need to do is start at 2,500 mils, add the 170 grams, get it to 2,000, and we'll hit our number. Went ahead and put the yeast in there. Going to let it grow, and we're going to go ahead and get on boil. Should have started this 2 days ago, but we've been pressed for time. So I know that the product's only as good as you plan and execute, so got some room to grow there, but excited to get back to brewing, and we're going to get started here. So check it out, and we'll get on that. All right, we are heating our hot water. We're going to mash in with just over 12 pounds of grain, about 13.6. So we are heating 11 gallons of water. We're going to mash in with just over 5, and then go ahead and transfer it to the brew kettle and get this on boil. This will be a Belgian Pale Ale. All right, we have our water right where we want it. It is actually a little high. Let's see if this can focus. It can't, but we're sitting at 168, which is a little high, but we're going to go ahead and mash in because it's a cool day, and this should hit right at 152. So we're going to go ahead and taste the grain, and here we have our Pilsner malt with some Cara Munich and some biscuit. And let's have a little taste. So you can see here. It actually tastes a little bit old. You get some sweetness, some dryness, and then you can get the a little bit more of a toffee note from the Cara Munich. Although it's kind of all mixed together. I like to taste these independent, but the brew shop that we shop at here in OKC doesn't do that. So anyways, you know, you get a little bit of sweetness, a little cereal-like, and kind of just a plain, dry malt. Tastes medium fresh. I don't know. It's kind of hard to say unless you get some stuff right out of that's immediately been kilned versus some stuff that's set on the shelf for a while. But tastes pretty good, and we know I've got that sort of locked into memory now, and I'm going to save a little taste here for my partner, Chris, that's brewing with me today, and let him taste it, and then we are going to... Alright, we are mashing in. We've got our valves shut, and we'll start mixing this up, and we're going to go ahead and put in here about 5.5 gallons of water and see how she looks and mix it up. So I'm going to get my spoon, start mixing, and the time I need to go check. So, alright, we were a little cool on the mash in, so we are going to add 2 more gallons of water here and mix it up. And we're a little thick as well. I'd like to see water on the top of this grain bed, just barely. So, we're almost there. And, so we've got about a half gallon in. Let's check how our temp's climbing. Good. We're already up 4 degrees, and we're only a half gallon in, so when we get the other gallon and a half, we should be right on the money. If we hit the temp before, then we'll stop. So we're trying not to create too much aeration here, but it's going to all get taken care of by the yeast. And we're just 4 degrees shy, and we're 1 gallon in, no more.
One degree away, or 2 actually. We're there.
Okay. So it didn't even take everything. Okay. Alright, we're at 133. We're getting ready to sparge this, and we've got a nice, cloudy, pale ale. It's very light, just as anticipated. No real strong aroma. Very sweet, clean. Tastes a little bit like cereal.
Malty aroma.
Yeah, just nice malty pale ale. Nice and light. So we're going to go very slow on this sparge and get this liquid out of here, and we will measure how much we get, and then we're going to shoot for about 9 gallons, and we'll be on boil. Alright, we've got our second runnings in here. We are going to let those sit for a few more minutes, let them be in there, total 15, and then come back into here. Right now we are at 104.8, and we are shooting 104.2, so this should dilute down to be real close to 104.2 with the second runnings, and we'll go on board.
Let's taste this malt.
Alright, so now we've got 0.45 of Sriracha Ace hops in our initial bittering hop. These are going to go in at 60 minutes. We're going to go check on our heating, and once we get on boil, we will pick. Alright, we added our first round of hops, and you can see them kind of spreading out in there. It is 3:47, so we'll be on boil for 90 minutes, and you can see my thermometer is 6 degrees off. So hopefully we got enough propane and we get a good boil. We're off boil at 517. We cooled. We hit temperature at 544, so good cooling time. And now we are transferring to the carboy. Kind of a straw color, a pale color. Hopefully the yeast will clarify that some. The whirl flock is doing its job. You can see down there the coagulation of the particles, which is cool. And we hit 105.6, which is 4 points higher than what we had planned. And so now we're going to taste it. I'd like a little taste off that here in a sec.
Ooh, I think it's going to be real strong. It's good, sweet, but at the same time it's got a kick.
It's got a lot of bitterness to it. Got a nice malt body, and the yeast will take up a lot of that bitterness. So there's a lot of bitterness there, and the yeast will eat a lot of that. So then hopefully it shall be real well balanced here. Very clear. There is some particles in suspension, but the yeast are going to take a lot of that out. So looks great. Great beer. I think it was a great brew day.
Yeah, I agree.
If you want any more, you can have it. And here we've got the final product. We are done with the brew day. And this is our first quote-unquote non-temperature controlled fermentation I've done in a long time. So not really excited about that, but the temp controllers are all taken right now. So it was time to brew, and we thought we would do a Belgian style I didn't want to do the open fermentation with the cheesecloth, so we elected to go ahead and do it in a carboy, but just at room temperature. And we expect a little bit more fruity esters from the ale yeast, maybe a little bit more bananas. And then we'll probably make the beer again if we like the base flavor and control the temp and see how she turns out. So, had good yeast pitch, and should start seeing some fermentation activity very soon. Cheers to Flow Brewing. Today we are going to discuss this Belgian Pale Ale that we made. It's a beautiful beer. You can see here. Whoa. It's got nice straw color. Pours with a nice foamy white head, and it's rescinded quite a bit. Carbonated right at 3 volumes. I've got about 5 feet of tubing line in my kegerator, and we are running at about 16 psi on a 4-way distributor. So in English, what that means is we've got about 16 pounds of pressure on this, and by the charts that are out there, it's approximately 3 volumes of CO2 in this beer. Normal Belgian style will normally carbonate up to 4 volumes. I just didn't want to over-carbonate my other beers that I have on tap, and I didn't want to turn the carbonation off on those beers either. So, what do we think of this beer? From an appearance, it is very good. It's a little hazy, probably could be a bit more crystal clear, but not bad. Especially in the light, it's got a nice amber, which you can kind of see it on this side of the glass. Whoop, right there. It's got that nice amber yellow color that you would expect. Like we said, nice foamy white head with a nice carbonation rim, and you can see the carbonation bubbles rise, especially after the pour. From the aroma perspective, it's got the standard Belgian ale yeast that you would expect. It's got some sweetness in the background. I want to say it's like a fruity sweetness. I get just a slight bit of banana notes that are very enjoyable. Little bit of spice. I'm not familiar enough. I need to get some cloves and chew on them because I don't know how to recognize that clove flavor. But it's a spicy, just a little bit of an herb spiciness that you would get like in El Hefeweizen that you saw in Flow Brewing. You get that spiciness, but it's not as sharp and as crisp as in El Hefeweizen from No Label. Overall, very happy with the beer. It did not attenuate down like expected. Very low alcohol beer, which might be a bit out of style. Looking at the BJCP style guide here on the iPhone for a Belgian Pale Ale, it does have that comment. So it should be in the original gravity 1048 to 1054. This one finished actually high, and it didn't attenuate down. I don't know if I pulled it too quick, but it only got to 1022. So it should have at least got down to 1014. Didn't. It definitely has the IBUs, the SRM's right on, the alcohol by volume way off. This one's under 3.2 alcohol by volume. However, not terribly unhappy with it. Just it's not there. From an aroma, it does have the fruity sort of banana notes. I don't get. There may be a little bit of pear fruitiness there, but it is spicy, and then no hops present, and it does have that peppery background, so that is very good. Color's good. For the flavor, tastes almost exactly as it smells. You get the sweetness, the fruity sweetness in the background. I'd never really associated it with pear, but I think pear fruity sweetness would be applicable, especially like the California honey sweet pears. I don't know if you've seen them at the grocery store, but they're the more round, slightly green pears. So that would be very equivalent to some of the sweetness that I get in this. There's some pepperness, or some, it's not really a word, but a peppery sort of note in the background that's crisp from the yeast, which is very also enjoyable. It has a soft, malty sweetness. I wouldn't say it's toasty, biscuity, or nutty, but it's got a nice sweetness from the malts. It's well balanced. It does have some bitterness in the background. This is dry hopped with Sriracha Ace hop, but I don't really get it in the nose. Might have been a useless addition, but I wanted to try it. It'd be interesting to try this beer without that Sriracha Ace hop. It does have the dry finish that's sort of signature for the style. It's very easy drinking, very good beer. We're getting ready to enter this in the foam cup. I do not get maybe I get a little bit in the background. There might be just a hint of diacetyl in here, so it'll be interesting if I get knocked for that. I got knocked for that on the last competition that I entered, which was a long time ago, up there with the KC Beermeister. So I'm not good. I've never had like a tasting kit to really zone in on diacetyl, so I'm not a good judge for diacetyl, but don't get it here. Be interesting if to what the BJCP judges say when they taste this beer. So anyways, overall, this is the Belgian Pale Ale from Flow Brewing, and this was an experiment. I did not have temperature control. I had a friend that really wanted to brew, so I told him that you know, I love to brew, that I'd love to show him how to brew, and it seemed like the Belgian style would be a great style for open fermentation around this time of year where I'm located, because the room temperatures are right at 68 to 72 degrees, not a lot of fluctuation in my house, in the particular room that I put it in, and good opportunity to make this style of beer as sort of a fall easy drinking beer. So turned out very well. It was a great brew day. You can check out the video, which you are right now. So anyways, if you'd like to taste this beer or any other beers, you can hit me up in the About section on flowbrewing.com. And thanks for tuning in. Cheers.